was a time when I thought my academic future is over due to failures in my academic studies, but I was wrong. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, I will share with you guys my personal experiences that I had with academic failures and how I was able to overcome those failures and what I learned through those experiences. Yes, even me too, I have failed big time. When it comes to education, I have failed severally, but one of them that I felt was a major setback to me was the one that happened in 2016. So 2016, I wrote my first senior examination. That was my senior YEC that I wrote back in 2016. So during that period of time, we were like 4 or 5 that were very good, we were very sound in what we were doing. So because of how good we were then, we gave ourselves a title Prof. So back then I was called Prof. Linus. So having in mind that I was good, I was sound, and I could be able to overcome any exams that may come my way, I wrote my first senior YEC, that is Friends of Success. And when the result came out, I was destabilized. Why? Because I failed like woefully, not all subjects, but I failed in my most fundamental subjects, and I was feeling very terrified and very terrible because I expected much from myself. Before the result came out, I was already writing commands, A1, marketing, B2, government, this kind of thing. So I was expecting maybe like 4A, 3Bs, and mathematics was C because I was not that good at mathematics, but I failed and it affected me. So I had trouble sleeping, I had trouble reading my book, I had troubles, even closing my eyes. Because anytime I closed my eyes, all I could think of was my examination results, and it was very bad. So I felt bad, and I could not even tell my friends what I got back then, except my tutors who I was very close with. And I opened up to them that, oh, look at what happened, look at what I got, and they were like, okay, it's normal, it happens, and something like that. So that was not the end of it, guys. A year after that, I wrote another exam. So I wrote YEC in 2016, 2017, I wrote GCE, and I was fully prepared. Okay, I felt that maybe the first exam, I was not that prepared enough. That's why I could not make it. So in 2017, I wrote another exam. Now, this exam that I wrote, the failure that came after the exam was not my own fault, and that alone made me to be very angry with Nigeria system. Because in my GCE exam that I wrote back then, so if you do not pay money for malpractice, you'll be separated. So most of us that did not pay, minority of us were set aside, and majority of us that was the exam then in 2017 were also set apart in one location. So the man that came did not accept examination malpractice. Maybe it was the Jehovah's Witness, who knows. So he did not accept examination malpractice, but the school went ahead at his back and did examination malpractice, and it caught these people in the arts. Now, the funniest part is that on that day we are having English language, and the man said vividly that due to what have been done in this center, this particular hall, that everybody in that center, we are going to fail the exam. And I heard this, I was like, oh, maybe it's not going to affect us because we did not do it. We are out of it. When the result came out, we all failed maths and English. So that alone made me to stop reading. Like, I cover all my textbook, every set I know about book, I cover them all. I was very angry, but I spent money in the next exam that we did. I sponsored the exam myself because the first one I did, my mom paid for it, and I couldn't meet up with the standard. So I said, okay, let me use my own money. So I'm going to be more wiser and more productive in passing the exam. But I still failed, and I felt very bad. That failure alone made me not to be engaged in anything academics for good 4 years. So for 4 years, I left academics. I forgot about my studies and I did something else. Just imagine a young man who is intelligent and who could not pass his country school leaving exam in order to get into higher institution. My pride was hurt, my ego was subdued, and my ceremonial title, Prof, was stained. So I was very, very disappointed at myself. But I bounced back. How did I bounce back? 2021, I was able to write another exam that was also GC. So when I wrote that exam, I passed this very well and I came up with a very good result. How did I do it? Okay. Now, first of all, I did not see failure as a setback. Then I saw it as a setback, but when I came back from mission, because during this lesson time, write my exam. I said I left school and everything, so I decided to go and serve God. And let me see, I serve God. God in turn is going to help me for me to be good at my academics. So it worked. The first thing I did then was to trust in God. So I had complete trust in God. I trusted in the sense that when I came back from mission, I did not spend more time reading because I was a reformed person. I was mentally sound and composed. So I used my knowledge back then and I was applying some simple ways of learning that I've shared with you guys in my previous studies. So I was more of practical than theory. I was doing more of past questions and I was solving more of them. So solving those things helped me to get back what I have left, because during this period of time I left studies. I did not open any of my circular books, just spiritual things. So, but when I came back, what I have learned on mission, I was able to implement these things in my studies and it worked. So my first method that I used that helped me to bounce back from failure was I had complete trust in God. My second one was my parents were very, very supportive to me. When I see my parents, I was very to my mom, my sisters, and my brother, because these people are my parents. They are taking care of me. They were with me. They were training me on that it is normal that if I do not fail, I will not learn and I will not have an experience to share to other people. So that failure that I had were with me back then that I failed, and they were motivating me to become more better. And in a way, they were assisting me also so that I will continue my educational journey. And also, I was very, very, very positive. I had a positive and a good mindset. I saw failure as an information and a feedback on what I need to improve and how I can do it for me to get better at that. Now, the first work that I wrote that I failed, the result was the feedback that I was good at some subjects and bad at some subjects too. Second one I did, though not my fault, but I saw it as a way of maybe I can also do more better in becoming more better. So I was also able to implement the changes that I could not implement in the second exam, and it helped me to come out with a very good grade. And lo and below, I'm now admitted into LASU, studying political science under the Faculty of Social Science. I'm also a young university student studying applied business. Another thing that also helped me was I learned from the best. So the best in these subjects, I always go to them, and I was very, very humble enough for me to get their insights and ideas on what they know on the subject. So having the best people also helped me to be able to overcome my academic failure by passing my school leaving exam, which was now what was now the outcome of my academic failure? I've been able to bounce back from academic failure. There will be some evidences, there will be some good news to show off. So showing this thing off is not about bragging of what I've achieved, just a way to encourage people that they can be able to do more better, even than I have done myself. So one of the outcome of my failure, which I bounced from, is that I'm now the author of a book which is titled The Introductory Text on Government and Politics. So in my 100 level, I wrote a book for my fellow students. Can you just imagine that? And the book was verified by 2 lecturers, 3 graduates who studied political science, and they were all in the forward. So imagine how I study a lot for me to be able to meet up and bring out my ideas and put them in a book that is not helping political science students. It helped JAMB students a lot to hold government in their JAMB. I have a lot of testimonies of JAMB students and how they were able to use the book to pass and blast JAMB, and also it's also helping political science students in passing their exams. So another of my achievements is that in my faculty, social science, if I'm not mistaken, I think in top 10, I will be in the top 10 as the best overall student in the whole social science faculty. And in my department, in political science, I'll be among the top 2 best students, up to 3 best students in my own department. Now all this would not have happened if I have not failed. Now my failure made me to improve my studies. My failure made me to find easy and better ways for me to improve and get better. My failures built me mentally. My failures made me to be humble enough to learn from the best. My failure made me go to teachers back then, because then I was disturbing teachers a lot. I was asking them questions back to back, and at a point it just looked as if I'm challenging them when they come to their subjects, because I don't want to repeat the same mistake I did when I wrote my previous 2 exams. Now failure actually built me to become times 10 better of myself. And if I failed and bounced back from failure, anybody too can bounce back from failure. Maybe you yourself, you have failed. Your GP in the first semester was bad. As a student, you have written JAMB 3 times, you did not make it. Or as a WIRE student, you have written WIRE twice, you did not make it. It is not over. Just like how I thought back then that my academic future was over, you too, listening to my voice, it is not over. You can become more better than you are now if you are able to apply this simple method. Just look failure as a feedback and information on what you need to improve and what you need to do better to become better. Don't see it as the end of your academic future. Be optimistic, be positive, and trust God in all time. And if you do this and apply some little ways of your own that will be best suited for you, you'll be able to overcome your academic failure and excel in your studies. If I've been able to enjoy this video, do well to subscribe, like, also tell us in the comment section how you have been able to overcome your academic failures. Thank you.